Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dia, and in today's video I'm gonna talk all about Azerbaijan, your hotels, flights, visa, what's the budget that you need for Azerbaijan, and also the itinerary for each day, what all places to visit. So if you don't know or if you're new to the channel, I actually visited Azerbaijan last September, and I actually combined Georgia and Azerbaijan together. So Georgia, I have already done all the videos and a budget video for Georgia as well. If you're interested in visiting that, I will leave all the links in the description box below. You can check from that as well. And in today's video, as I mentioned, it's all about Azerbaijan. And let's start. The first thing that you need is a visa. So for us Indians, we have an option for e-visa, which is really simple, and I will try to make a video how to apply for the visa. If any of you are interested, leave it in the comment below if you want me to do a separate video how to apply for the visa. But anyway, it's a single entry visa, and you have to pay 25 USD, which is approximately like 2000 rupees, and you will get your visa within 3 days. And it's a simple one. Your passport expiry should be more than 6 months from the date of when you're traveling. And also when you're applying, there is an option to add your hotel address, so no need to book any hotel. You can just give any address that you want, or you can book a hotel which has like free cancellation if you want to change your hotel or if you don't want to visit. So anyway, it's a very simple one. Also, you don't need any flight bookings for Azerbaijan visa. So I would suggest first get your visa for Azerbaijan. Once your visa is approved, after that you can book your flight tickets. And also the visa is valid for 90 days. You have to mention the approximately date which you will be arriving in Azerbaijan, and it will take 90 days from that. And at a while you can stay till 30 days in Azerbaijan. And also it's a single entry visa. So once you have your visa approved, the next thing that you need, that is the flights. So when I went, there was no direct flight from Azerbaijan to India, but now there is a direct flight, which is, I think, Azerbaijan Airlines, if I'm not wrong. So you can directly book flights from Delhi to Baku, and it's like a 4-hour journey, if I'm not wrong. And the whole ticket, the return ticket, cost around 30,000 rupees. I just checked in Skyscanner. I will leave the screenshot right here. And yes, 30,000 rupees I think is a really good deal. And just try to plan at least like a month before whenever you are planning to go. I think you will get a good deal. And the next thing that I always recommend is to get a travel insurance. It is not mandatory to get an insurance if you're going to Baku, but I would suggest get a travel insurance. The one we got is from policybazaar.com, and it was like I think 400 rupees per person, and it covers around 100,000 USD. So yes, definitely get an insurance. Next is the hotel booking. So Baku is comparatively, it's a cheap place. If you are planning to book like very nice hotels, I think you will get within 5,000. The one that we stayed, it was in near Nizami Street. Nizami Street is the location that you would want to stay. It's a very nice location. Everything is nearby. So that costed us around 3,000 rupees per day. But if it's up to your budget, but mostly average, like within 2,000 to 3,000, you will get really nice hotels with breakfast in Baku. And you can book the hotels from Agoda, booking.com, any websites you can get it from. The one we booked, it was from booking.com. So we actually stayed in Baku, in two different hotels in Baku and in Sheki. So I will leave all the hotels that I've stayed in the description below, and all the hotels were really nice. So let's talk about the local currency. So Azerbaijan currency is known as manat. So 1 manat is approximately equals to 49 Indian rupees. So that, like, the difference is quite large, you could say. But the prices there are quite, like, I would say cheap, because like the food and everything you will get at very low prices. We went from Georgia to Azerbaijan, so we didn't get any local currency. So we just directly went to the ATM and we just took out manat, like the cash, directly from ATM. But if you have USD with you, you can definitely go and exchange in the city. I would suggest don't exchange it in the airport, or exchange the minimum amount that you absolutely need, because generally airport the exchange prices in the airport are very high than what you get in the city itself. So you can either take USD and exchange it, but we did is we just took had our ATM with us, and we just took out cash directly from the ATM. Next is SIM. If you have international roaming, that's good. Or if you don't, like, I think the cheaper option is to get a local SIM there. So the SIM that we got, it costed us 1,000 Indian rupees, which was like and I think we got unlimited internet and also some minutes or unlimited local calls as well, and the net speed and everything was good. So you can get the SIM directly from the airport. itself. So we didn't get it from airport, we got our SIM from a local shop, but like the prices are same. I would suggest that get the SIM directly from the airport itself. It's transportation. So the widely used cab is Bolt app. Bolt again is the same that we used in Georgia as well. So you can get Bolt app, and there is Uber as well, but the Uber actually is a different app. Like the Uber that we use, that doesn't work in Azerbaijan. There is a separate app, I think Uber Azerbaijan, something like that, but I was not able to download it on my phone, so I just used the Bolt app. And the cab prices are really cheap. I think because the oil and the petrol prices are cheap there, so that's why the cab prices are also very cheap. For example, from airport to hotel, it costed us just around like 4 manat, which is approximately less than 200 rupees. And also one more thing, if you are going from airport to hotel, I would definitely suggest download the Bolt app, or you can download the Bolt app before going to Azerbaijan and register with your local SIM that you get there, and book from Bolt app. Like the one that we paid 4 manat, the drivers who were outside the airport, they were charging us around like 50 or 60 manat, like which is around like 3,000 rupees, and we paid 200 rupees, so you know the difference. I would suggest get the app. And also whenever you are even roaming within the city, it will hardly cost you like 150 rupees or 200 rupees. It's very cheap to get to travel across Baku. So yes, that's it. And next is food. I was super tired of eating Georgian food. I didn't like it, and Azerbaijan for me was heaven. The food actually is like kind of like Middle Eastern food, you could say. So it's very similar to our taste that we like Indians like. So they have a famous one that is pulao, which is basically pulao that we call. So you can definitely try it out that. And other than that, there are multiple non-veg options. Obviously there are veg options as well. I am a full non-vegetarian, so I haven't tried anything veg there, but if you are a vegetarian, you will get options there as well. That won't be a problem. Also the food again, it's like super cheap. There is very nice restaurants, pubs, even if you wanna go there, everything is available in Baku. Everything is available in Baku, and the food won't really cost you much. The average price will be like maybe 500 per person. In the higher end side, you will definitely get good food within that price. And yes, that's about the food. So now let's next talk about the itinerary of Azerbaijan. I think 5 days are enough if you want to visit Azerbaijan, or you can again combine it with Georgia like we did for whole 10-day trip as well. So the first day, when you arrive in Baku, I'm assuming you are going from India, so the flight lands there around 8 AM. So you can, after immigration everything, you can go to the hotel, take a quick nap or anything, and in the afternoon you can visit Baku city. So there are multiple places that you can visit in Baku. The Nizami street, as I've mentioned, it's a very nice happening place. There's like shopping, you can do shopping, there's like nightclubs, there's dining option, and also there's Baku Boulevard, there's Baku Eye, Little Venice, and most of the places that I'm mentioning in Baku, these are like within, like near each other. So if you're like me, you can definitely walk from my hotel, from the hotel that we stayed in. It was like around 2.5 kilometers, so we just walked around the whole place. And also I would suggest that keep some time in the evening to just go and sit in the Baku Boulevard, which actually is in front of the Caspian Sea. It looks really beautiful in the evening, and yes, definitely you can check that out. And so the first day you can just travel around Baku. Day 2, you can take a day trip to Yanardagh and Govustan. So there are multiple places that you can visit. Generally it's like 6 or 7 point. You can book via local agency, or you can book via any online service as well. So the places that you can visit are first is the mud volcanoes. Then you can visit Gobustan rock art. You can also visit Bibi Heibat Mosque. There's Atishkar fire temple, and lastly Yanardagh. So you can definitely visit, like it will be a whole day trip. Generally the trip starts around like 8:30 or 8 in the morning, and you will be returning back in the evening, maybe like 6 or 7. So you can keep that day for this whole trip. And on the next day, you can either take a day trip to any hill station, but I would suggest that stay one night in the mountains whenever you are going. If you are visiting anytime between November to maybe like April, you will get snow, and it actually looks beautiful. I have seen videos and pictures, but when we went there was no snow, but nonetheless it was a very beautiful place. So what we did was we actually hired a cab, and that car was like they showed us all of the places that we had to visit, and we stayed the night in Sheki, and in the next morning we came back to Baku. So the places that we visited was first we visited the Nohur lake where we did boating, and next there were 7 waterfalls. So there are like 7 different waterfalls. It was beautiful, and also there were like stairs, so you have to walk a lot. And after that we went to the Tufangan mountain resort. So basically it's a ropeway, so there are 5 points in the ropeway. Like it's not a direct ropeway, so you have to get down from the first stop and then change the ropeway to the other one. And the whole, like the top of the place is like, I think it starts off a ski, like people start their skiing from there. But again, when we went there was no snow, but anyway, it's a very beautiful one. You can definitely visit that. And then the night we stayed in Sheki. Sheki is like a very small town in the northwestern side of Azerbaijan in the Caucasus mountain, and it's like very like closer to the Russian border. So there we stayed in Sheki again, and the next morning we went to different places in Sheki. We had like Sheki Palace, there was Sheki Museum, and there were multiple places as well. Finally, while coming back, we went to Juma Mosque and came back to Baku, and it was already like around like 7:30 when we came back to Baku. And yes, and in the night we just had some good dinner, and also I think we went to a pub. The nightlife actually in Baku is really nice. If you're someone who is interested, you can definitely visit that. So your second and third day will be covered up within this Sheki and Gabala. And on the last day, if you are coming back to India, your flight will be at night time, so you can visit the Candy Cane mountain. Like it's a very cute kind of mountain. It's a small one, like it's like a 3 or 4 hours trip, so you can definitely start in the morning, and by afternoon you can be back and catch your flight at night. So in our case, our flight was in the morning. I think it was around like 11 or 12 p.m. so we couldn't visit the Candy mountain, but you can definitely keep it in your itinerary as well. And yes, by that you can plan your 5-day trip to Baku. Now about the day tour details. So generally whenever I visit any country, I like to book the day trips from local agencies, but this time in Baku I couldn't find any local agency like in nearby the hotel Nizami Street. I tried to find any on Google as well, but I couldn't find any. And so what we did was we booked via viator.com. There are multiple options. I think TripAdvisor is there, Klook is there, Viator is there. The prices are on the higher end side if you're booking via this Viator or anything, and if you book via local it will be less. So for example, the one that for Gobustan trip that costed us 4,500 rupees per person, and that included all the entrance fee and lunch as well. And the lunch was in a very like posh restaurant with like 4-course meal, so I was like fine with it. But if you book the same trip with a local agency, maybe it will cost like 2,000 or maybe 2,500, like less than 50% what you pay. So if you get any local, you can book via that, or definitely you can book via local agents, via this online agencies as well. And if you're planning to take a day trip to this mountain resorts as well, that also you can do. It will be like a 12 hours or 13 hours day trip, and that is also available in this apps as well. You can definitely get that. And what we did was that we actually, since we stayed in Sheki, we booked a car for the whole day. So that costed us 30,000 rupees. So, and that didn't include any entrance fee. That was just for the car and the driver. He was also like a guide, and he could speak proper English, by the way. So he was also explaining wherever we are going. And the prices you have to negotiate. I think we got the number of this driver from the hotel that we stayed in, and if I have the number, I will mention in the description box below. You can either like stay and get a car. If you're going with 4 people, I think 30,000 will be fine, because the car is also with you where you're going and staying the night there, and it is also covering the places of the both days as well. So I feel that is fine. And yes, that is how you can plan and book your tours. The last thing that most of you are waiting for is the budget, that how much is it gonna cost if you are planning to visit Azerbaijan. So let's break down the cost. So the visa will cost somewhere around 2,000 rupees. Next is the flight. So if you're traveling from India and coming back to India, its round trip is 30,000 rupees, and it's a direct flight. Your insurance will cost around like 400-500 rupees. SIM will cost 1,000 rupees. And next is the hotel. So I have kept an average of 3,000 rupees per day for 5 days. But again, it depends on you. You can definitely book much cheaper as well. It depends upon your preference. So if it's a twin sharing one, so I have divided 15,000 by 2 people. So it's like 7,500 rupees for hotel. And next is food. So food, I have already mentioned that food is quite cheap, but on the higher end side I have kept 10,000 rupees per person. That I'm sure that it's not gonna be that much. It will be like maximum like 7,000 or 8,000 per person. And transport, like within Baku, it will be like 1,500 rupees maximum, not more than that, because cab is super cheap. And if you are going for the Gobustan trip, it will be 4,500. If you are booking from where I have booked, 3,000 rupees is like miscellaneous, like all the Shaky museum that we have visited. We have done some zip lining in Shaky as well. There was a ropeway, and everything including is like maximum 3,000 rupees will be in per person. It will be like 3,000 rupees. We're planning to go in the car that I have done. I'm just talking about the one that we had made. So if you're 2 people, it will be like somewhere around 15,000. But if you are taking a day trip, it won't cost that much. It will be like 5,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees per person. And yes, this is like the breakdown of approximately. And I have also kept, like, you know, miscellaneous. It might happen that here and there you have to pay some entrance fee or like different things. I have kept like 10,000 extra. And if you include everything, it will sum up to 81,000. So that is what I have paid, around like 80,000. But it depends like which tour if you are booking. If you want to stay in Baku and travel all the places, take a day tour, I think it will cost you less than that. But approximately, including flight, hotels and everything, it should cost you somewhere around like 70 to maximum 80,000. I think that should be enough for like a 5 or 6 day trip to Baku, Azerbaijan. And yes, that's about the video. I'm actually editing the videos for all the places that I visited in Baku and Shaky and Gabala and Gobustan. That will be up on my channel super soon. You can definitely check it out. And if you have any questions regarding Azerbaijan or Baku, budget or anything, you can definitely leave in the description. All the hotels and everything I have visited, I will leave in the description box. You can check it out. And also let me know if you want me to do a video how to apply for visa for Azerbaijan. I can do that as well. And as I've mentioned, I have similar video, sit down video for budget and itinerary on Georgia as well. You can definitely check that out if you're planning to go to Georgia. That will be in the description box as well. And that's it. Take care, guys. Bye.